us and to really lay our requests down before Him. Before we get started, I wanted to remind all of you about the prayer night that's coming up this Friday, 7 o'clock, and I invite you to come out and join your family as we lay our requests down before God and just have a time of worship and really pour our hearts out to Him. I ask that you would invite others to come to this special night, and if you need more information, feel free to go to the website, resonatemovement.org. So thanks again for taking this time to make time for God and to really ask Him for the things that are on our heart and to join others as we lay our requests down before Him. For those of you joining us, if you want to turn to page 22 of your By Grace devotional, the devotion today is Acts 9, 10 through 17. Now there was a disciple at Damascus named Ananias. The Lord said to him in a vision, Ananias, and he said, Here I am, Lord. And the Lord said to him, Rise and go to the street called Straight, and at the house of Judas look for a man of Tarsus named Saul. For behold, he is praying, and he has seen in a vision a man named Ananias come in and lay his hands on him so that he might regain his sight. But Ananias answered, Lord, I have heard from many about this man, how much evil he has done to your saints in Jerusalem. And here he has authority from the chief priests to bind all who call on your name. But the Lord said to him, Go, for he is a chosen instrument of mine to carry my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how much he must suffer for the sake of my name. So Ananias departed and entered the house. And I love this passage because as I was reflecting on this, it reminded me of something so important that I think we need to remember just over and over again, that when we even begin to think of people as too far gone or even as the worst of the worst, God lovingly shows us that we were in fact in their exact same position, and yet He still sought us out and He died and rose for us. And even today, as we continue to fall short and depend on ourselves, He still continues to pursue us in His grace. And Psalm 18:19 says, He brought me out into a broad place. He rescued me because He delighted in me. God delights in the people He created. He seeks people out and He brings them in, even the ones that we wouldn't choose. And He's calling us to be a more accurate reflection of Him by doing the same, by the power and dependence and depending on Christ for this. And so with that, I wanted to lead us into the first prayer item on page 22 that says, Pray that as Jesus sought out and befriended us, we would do the same for others. And I'm going to say a word of prayer, and then I'll give you some time to pray on your own. God, thank you that even though we were your enemies, and even though time and time again we turn away from you, you still pursue us, you still befriend us, you still seek us out. And I pray, Father, that you would give us the heart to do that for others, for the ones who are the strangest, the weirdest, the ones that we think are too far gone. Remind us, God, that we were once too far gone, and yet you still pursued us. Would you give us a heart to do that for not only our neighbors, but even for those maybe who we may even see as enemies, Lord? And give you some time to pray on your own for that. call you back to the second item of prayer on the prayer list here. Pray that people in our cities would feel a hunger to know more about Jesus. I'm going to lead us in a word of prayer and then give you some time to do that on your own too. God, forgive us if we have tried to rely on our own strength and our own power and ability to make others want you. Would you change in our hearts instead to just respond in the love that you pour out for us, and in our response to want others to see you and to hunger for you? Would you change their hearts, God, to see that even though they deserve eternity without you, you give them an invitation and you beckon them into eternity with you, just as you've done for us, God. And that would you help them to see, God, that you're not just this nice idea that's far away, but that you are here, that you are with us, that you long for us, and that you pursue us. And I pray that you'd open their eyes to see just how real you are in the same way that you do for us, God, continuously and over again. I pray this in Jesus' name. Go ahead and take some time to pray for the people in our cities that they would want to know more about God. I could ask to lead you in the last item on our prayer is pray that the construction work for our building would go forward without incident or delay. God, thank you. Thank you that you even put this type of huge vision before us that seems so impossible, but and it scares some of us. But God, nothing's too big for you, nothing. And God, thank you for how you have opened doors and ways for us to actually have a facility where people can come to. And I pray, Father, that as the construction for this building goes forward, that there would be no incident or delay, and that you would remind us just over and over again that we're not building a castle, we're building a kingdom. And I pray, Father, that you would stir in our hearts to just continue to lift up this process to you, God. You know all of the details, nothing's out of your reach, God. Would you just go ahead of us and work everything out, God, and show us how we can be a part of what you're doing already and follow your leading. In Jesus' name. So go ahead and take some time to pray for that as well. call you all to finish up your prayer, and we're going to close out our time together. God, thank you for allowing us the time and the space to be able to even come before you and talk to you and ask. And thank you for making a way for us through Christ. God, I just pray, Father, that we would be a church that is continuously asking, because none of this is possible without you. And I pray, Father, that you would continue to place in our hearts a heart that is laying down our requests before you, knowing that you're leading this entire series. You're leading all the details of this. You're leading us to even pray and to ask and to believe, God, that you are doing your work. Would you make us a church that is united, that is excited even through the midst of our uncertainty, that we are excited for what you are already doing beyond what we could see. God, I just continue to pray for this and just ask, Lord, that you would just be glorified, Lord, that we would come together and just want to glorify you in every single step of this. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to stop and to pray and to ask God for all of these things, and to be connected with the rest of your church family on this. It's so awesome how God invites us, that even though he can do everything without us asking, he invites us to confidently go and really believe that he's a father that cares for our needs, that he cares for what our hearts are, and he invites us to even come as we are, and that he seeks us out. And I just invite you to come in tomorrow as we do this again at 12:15, and looking forward to seeing you then. Thanks, everyone.